How's it going, everybody? Throwing up a video response here today. Snestastic put up a video called Psychology of a Video Game Collector. I don't know if I'm going to use the same title, or because I'm a little different in terms of collecting than most people on YouTube. In that I don't really have like huge collection at all, and I've never had a huge collection. But I enjoyed. I thought it was an excellent video. I shouldn't say like. I enjoyed hearing other people's, and his, and Lukey Wookie put up a great response to it as well. I enjoy hearing their, the pitfalls they've gotten into with collecting, their habits of collecting and stuff. And on both of their videos, in some cases I have the same problem. Like Snestastic mentioned, he got the CDX, the Sega CDX, and he has it, and it wasn't working or whatever. He thought maybe he could just, it was working or whatever, and he needed to, maybe he'll fix it, try to fix the laser or whatever, but he's thinking, is he going to get a collection for this thing, I was that way when I got a Saturn. I didn't pay much for it, but I was thinking, alright, am I going to try to collect for this thing or what? Like, would it serve me a purpose? And no, it didn't, and I ended up selling the thing, which I do with most of my stuff anyway. And, he mentioned indecisive, which is me when it comes to what kind of collection I want to have. I can't make a decision on what kind of collection I want. Do I want a cube collection? Do I want survival horror? Do I want PS3? I had a nice PS3 one before I even got on YouTube, which got bigger, but then my PS3 died, so I just got rid of them because they had no purpose at the time. I had just obviously recently gotten another one. And Lukey Wookie mentioned how, and I did this is something I did bad last generation. He had, he's mentioned how sometimes he'll buy a game, sell it and buy the thing 4 times and sell it. And he said he bought, he's bought in a couple Wii's and sold them. This was me last generation to a T. I owned about 4 GameCubes where I paid not full price, but they were all brand new. The first one I got a bunch of 200. I got another one in 03, another one in 04 for specific games or trying to get back into it. And this is before, this is way before I put anything on YouTube, obviously, years before, So I was just, same thing with PS2. I bought about 3 PS2s. I had an Xbox for 3 years. That was like my longest run of a console last generation, which really isn't that fucking good. You think about it. I've been a lot better, but with doing that, you're like, all right, I'm going to get 75%, of my money back on this thing. But when you do that 2 or 3 times, you're losing like $200, $300. Plus the games you bought for the thing, you build up like 8, 9, 10 games, and all of a sudden like, I don't want this anymore. So that that was a big problem for me. That really, I could have dedicated all that time to the original Xbox, or I had like this thing where I kind of wanted all 3 at the same time, but it would never work out because it was just like, all right, I have 3 systems now. I can't be throwing money at games for all 3 systems at $50 a pop. What am I doing? But this generation's been a lot better. I had one Wii, sold it. I had it for like 3 months, and I was like, I can't do this. I just wasn't that into it. The virtual console was awesome, but the games just, it didn't do it for me or whatever. So I sold that. I've never gotten another one. I borrowed the one I sold to my friend at one point, but I've never bought another one. I had an Xbox. I sold that to get a PS3. And I sold to my one friend. That ended up dying. It would have died on me anyway, but then I bought that second Xbox, which was a great deal. And that was used, but I would have never bought another PS3, but the other one had died, so eventually, a year later, I get another one. But I've never gone out of my way to sell systems to just get them again and again, especially this generation where the consoles were more, for a while now they've dropped down to more reasonable prices. But that was a huge problem for me. And my thing is, it's that, and I said this earlier, it's that how I'm different of a collector. Like, I've never been a huge collector where I go nuts with stuff. The PS3 collection was big. Before I got on YouTube, it got a little bigger, and then, like I said, PS3 died, so I get rid of the games. No point in having them. Obviously now I got a few. Now, since I got a new one, I don't think I'm going to get a collection that big again. Like, 4 days, I get 40-something games. I don't think I'm going to do that again. Like, if you followed me since the beginning or whenever, early on, you would notice my collection would be like 3 rows almost full. Now it's like not even 1. I can't even fit 1 if I put everything on there. Which is the way it should be. I mentioned this in the comment to Snestastic's video. I can't, like he mentions, like his Super Nintendo collection really gives him a lot of satisfaction. The PS3 collection was the closest I got to being like actually satisfied. Like I have this weird thing where I can't, it seems like I'm never satisfied. Like and that comes from, I don't know, even know actually know where it comes from. But I'll buy a game. I'll be like, ooh, I want a GameCube collection. I'll buy 10 games, and I'll be like, I'm going to sell all these. You know, I'm going to sell all these, which is what I should do because I'm not a huge collector. This is why my video is kind of different from his and other people on YouTube who collect. You know, that's not me. I'm not a huge collector. I'd like to focus on my survival horror, the survival horror games. That's something that would satisfy me pretty much 100%. You know, but it's just hard for me to just focus on that because then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, Beautiful Joe and Beautiful Joe 2. I'll grab those. You know, I'll play them. You know, for a little bit. Like we could mention, play a game for a little bit and get bored of it. You know, that's me too. Boom, I'm done. I'm bored. If it doesn't hold my interest for more than 3 hours, I don't like it. You know, and it has no purpose to me to sit on a shelf. It just doesn't, because it could be money that could be used towards other things. You know, I'm more of a seller. That's, you know, I don't think I've ever come to grips with it. It sounds like stupid as hell. Like, I'm like, oh my god, I can't come to grips with just being a seller. I have I guess I'm easily influenced because I'll watch YouTube videos. And it started when I first got onto YouTube, and I'll be like, ooh, I want a sweet collection to show off too. You know, it gives me a video to put up. I can, you know, I want to show my collection too. You know, I want to show what I know about video games and stuff. And what am I doing? You know, like what? To get like 10 comments, 5 comments, you know, to have, for what, you know, for me to spend $50 so I can show people that I bought a bunch of games that serve no purpose to me, it's stupid. You know, if I had the money, I still don't think I would be collecting like crazy, because it's just not me, you know, it's just not me. For other people it makes sense because that's what they want to do. For me, I'm like trying, like I'm almost forcing myself to be a collector, and I'm like, what am I doing? You know, collect the games you want to play, collect a certain genre. Survival horror is probably my favorite genre. Buy games for that and enjoy them. Don't go and buy, you know, I've already sold a bunch of the ones I had mentioned I bought already. What a surprise. I mean, I knew I was going to do that. But, you know, keep things you want to play, you know. Shenmue 2, Thief Deadly Shadows. I want to play these. Gladius, I want to play these. Most of these are survival horror. There's a couple PS3 games there. Castlevania, I want to play that. I had Shadow of Rome. I got to sell that. Why did I buy that again? I don't know. Because I was like, ooh, maybe I'll play 10 minutes of it, you know. It's just, it's frustrating, and you know, hopefully I get to a point where I'm on a consistent field of just getting the games I want, not even buying anything else to play and be like, this is cool, check out my gameplay video. I'm not going to play it again after my gameplay video, you know, and I've done that a few times. What am I doing? You know, I'm wasting my time. I'm wasting my money. You know, I could just put up videos talking, you know, vlogs or whatever you call them, you know, just do that, you know, talk about stuff. I don't need to, like, just buy games for the sake of putting up a video. That's, like, stupid. I mean, granted, I never go nuts and spend all types of crazy money. At least I'm not going crazy and buying all something and be like, oh shit, you know, thank God, because then it'd be even worse for me, because I really don't have the money to do that. But, you know, it's like, yeah, you know, like this, Indiana Jones, boom, keep this, I replay that game, I enjoy it, keep it, boom. Would I need any other Nintendo 64 games? Probably not, because I don't think we ever replay any of those games. I don't even have a Nintendo 64 right now anyway, you know. I can just borrow my friends, but, you know, it's just, you know, I got the PS2, because I want, you know, most of the survival horror games I have for it are on it. Got it, boom. But mainly that would be to test that and PlayStation games. PS2 and PlayStation games, I can test them. Ones I get at garage sales or Goodwill or wherever. Test them, make sure they work, and then sell them. You know, I need to have a lot of systems now just for testing purposes. But I do, you know, most of the survival horror games I want are on it. So, and that was only $30. But yeah, you know, it's just, I don't know if I'll ever get to that point where I know. I'm a seller and I'm like a 90% seller and a 10% collector. And, you know, I buy stuff at garage sales. I put up the video, the pickup video. Sega CD games is a great example. I'm like, ooh, I got like 10 games here. I could start up a collection. No, what are you doing? And then I eventually sold all those games. I still have the Sega CD. But I sold all those games. And that was, you know, the right decision. But the fact that every time I buy these things at garage sales, part of me is like, oh, keep it. Why should I keep it, you know? But, you know, like Dave said, you know, everybody's different, obviously, but it's good to just, you know, get it out there on YouTube and be able to tell it to people who have similar, you know, things. And I'm glad he put that video up, snestastic. And I'm happy to see the Lukey Wookie response too, because you get another angle as well, and people come in with different kinds of pitfalls. You know, I call it pitfall because it's something, at least for me, that I fall into. You know, I just fall into that thing and I do it over and over again, and hopefully I stop with that. I've been a lot better. You know, I said I started buying these games, but I'm always at least smart enough with the money I'm spending. I never go too nuts. I did a little while back, but thankfully those games had some value. And this is another thing I do too. This is another thing. I gotta mention this. This is more like in terms of grabbing something for eBay. I'll see a game like, you know, if there's a new game coming out on PS3, I think it just came out, Tales of Gracies F. And that's kind of be a cool game because I like Tales of Symphonia. Those are cool kind of games. But I'm like, ooh, I need to grab that now because maybe in 5 years it will gain $10 in value. Like, what? What is wrong with me? You know, like, just, you know, if you can't get it, don't get it. Don't spend $60 to play it and hope it has value 5 years down the line when it's not going to matter. You know, the money is more important now. Not, you know, and that's another thing. That's more in terms of me selling, trying to get like rare stuff and hold on to it, which is like, I can't afford to hold on to these games. I gotta move them immediately. And eBay is ever, you know, bouncing back and forth. Game could be worth shit. I could list a game today, sell it for $10. I could list it tomorrow and sell it for 20. You know, it just, I can't do that either. Hold on to things. But like I said, it was good getting their views. I'm really glad he put that video up because it gives me a reason to. I mean, I've occasionally in videos mentioned little things, but never have gone full out, you know, like that. And I was happy to see that. And, you know, I respect him as a YouTuber and his opinions and his, you know, the way he talks about stuff. Lukey Wookie as well. You know, I respect these people on YouTube, and I want to hear what they have to say when it comes to stuff like that because it's important. It's important to me because it gives me a little insight into myself or whatever. I don't even know if half of that made sense, but hearing how they are, and it says, you know what, other people, I know other people have the collecting issue, but it's nice to hear it because I'm like, cool, I can now vent as well. So I want to thank him for putting that video up, and I want to thank Lukey Wookie for responding because I wasn't sure if I was going to respond, and I saw he put up a response video. I was like, alright, cool, you know, people, you know, I can hear what he has to say as well, and then throw another one up. But, you know, I just wanted to say that as well, you know, just get it out there and pretty much yell at myself. But, you know, and I don't know how much of this will make sense, but, you know, it was good to, as they've said and stuff, get that, clear your head of that stuff. But thanks everybody for checking it out, and have a good day.